Hello, this is Hattie Hassan from Stop Cox and the founder of the Women in Stores Together conference, which is happening on the 4th of July in London. If you are a tradeswoman or a trainee tradeswoman, please come to it. It's free and there'll be a link at the end of this video. It brings me great pleasure to introduce you to Laura Needham, head of training at the Vaillant Group UK. Vaillant Group UK. I just want to make sure I get that right. I think I have.
You got it right.
Great. So, hi Laura. Thank you for agreeing to talk to me, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thanks very much for having me, Hattie. Pleasure to be here. So I've been in Vaillant for 10 years. Started out as a temporary worker in the call centre. I was only meant to be here for 3 months, but 10 years later, here I still am. But funnily enough, I do remember sort of coming into the training department probably about 7 years ago, and I think one of your first meetings was with us as well.
Yeah, we first met with a bunch of you actually. It was a little bit intimidating. It was like, what's this all about? And there was like loads of you and me sitting there. But you know, followers of the WIT will know that Vaillant have been supporting us since our very first event in 2017 and continue to be an investor in tradeswomen. So Laura, do you know why you keep coming back?
Why do we keep coming back? Oh,
Yeah.
That's a question. No, I think it's important to, being a woman myself and, coming into this industry, not knowing anything, I'll be completely frank with you. I didn't know anything about boilers or heat pumps or controls or anything like that, anything regarding plumbing. And I think it's important now, especially in the role that I do, that we support women coming into the industry or, any new entrant coming into the industry. With these net zero targets that we have now, more and more coming to the forefront, it's important that we grow as an industry. And, always a supporter of bringing kind of people through. And, it's my day-to-day job of trying to train people and help them upskill to be better and to get to where they want to be. It's really important to sort of to represent and to show support for situations such as this.
Yeah, because there's still, we might be nudging the 1% on the positive side now, but I don't know if you were aware, but most of the tradeswomen that we know have only ever met other tradeswomen at our event, and that's one of the big things that we want to overcome. We want to overcome the isolation, and the theme of this year is celebration. And I know actually that Vaillant got something to celebrate this year. You're releasing something, aren't you? Some new thingy, which I'm not going to spill the beans. But if you want to tempt everybody, you can do. This is
funnily enough, I'm in London tomorrow for the launch event. So watch this space, watch social media. You'll all soon find out.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things. Have you been to one of our events before? Have you attended?
I think you had. I think I was at the one where you was at Installer a few years ago, but unfortunately I was having to present on our stand, giving some talks,
Right.
so I was unable to kind of pop in. But I'm definitely going to try and get in this year. So I'll.
It's a different event to that one, because that one was just our little kind of sub event to get us back after COVID, and the Installer show, were really good and they gave us the space to do that. But now we're back, in our own right, in our own venue, and it's a completely different kind of day. I think you're going to really enjoy it. One of the things that we find is that the delegates are really engaged. So anything that you might want to say to them or talk to them about during the times. There's plenty of times for it's a timetabled event. It's like no other event, and a lot of our sponsors who come, and it would be good for you to see the format. Just see it as a completely different event, because there are sit down times and there are mingling times and there's food. And
I think it's important, that your event is so important for women, because I know coming into this, and I worked with my dad for a few years ago in construction, and knowing that I was the only woman on site, and you do need that camaraderie to really kind of instill that confidence in you, because sometimes it can be daunting going to a male dominant industry or male dominant premises, etc. And I think it's important with your event to really represent women and show, look, you're not alone. And I know you've spoken to Alice Woolley, obviously the director of marketing, and we have so many incredible women in the industry, and it's something to be celebrated.
Absolutely.
I think it's really, really important.
And that is the theme, celebration is the theme this year. So you're right on point there. You're the only woman I've interviewed, actually, of all the people so far, all my interviews. You're the only woman. So it's kind of representative of our industry a little bit. It's great to have our male allies. We always love talking to blokes because their perspective is different to our perspective. And I think I don't know, maybe you'll agree or disagree, but one of our things that we've come across is that our perspective is different. We're not just, as I said to one of the guys, we're not just small men. We do have a different experience and a different different perspective, and that we often get asked, why do you have to have an event just with women in it? And I think it's, well, before I tell you what I think, let me hear what you think. Let you do sort of talking, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, just sort of going back to your point there about, it is male dominated industry, and I've been very lucky enough to have absolute excellent male colleagues, bosses that have supported me and helped me, guide me through my career. And I think it's important not to say, this is just for women. I think it's actually giving credit to those, no matter what gender you are, that, we support each other as human beings. But I think, just going back to your question, I think, again, going back to the point of, it is male dominated. It's not an industry that when I was growing up, I was obviously, I was thinking more of being a footballer and things like that. That's always been kind of where my head's gone. But then you get you sort of other women in your life where you say, oh, well, that's not a role for a girl, or, you need to be doing something else. Why don't you be a nurse? Don't be a doctor. And it's one of those things that I think now sort of, I mean, I'm 33 years old and I've got cousins that are younger, and they're coming to me with more points as to, well, actually, no, I'm going to challenge you, and I'm going to challenge this. I'm going to challenge the status quo. And it's not giving any role or any job or any career a agenda to kind of say you have to be male, female, anything that you sort of identify as. And I think it's really important to identify that and celebrate that we are women, we are in this industry, and we've fought hard to get here, we've worked hard to get here. And I think it's incredible.
And we've got something to bring to it, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. And it's all working together. You think of the industry with what you're doing with your event, what we've done with other events as well. I think it's just coming together as one, and it's just celebrating. I think that's what life's about. I think anything with regards to this industry, you see it on Twitter, you see it at events, the camaraderie that everyone brings together, and you go to the events and everyone's having a laugh and a joke. There's no malice in anything. It's just to be celebrated.
Yeah, exactly. And we're really looking forward to this one because even though we did have a fantastic event last year, I think there was still a bit of COVID cautiousness happening. But this year we're coming out in force. It's going to be bigger than ever, actually. And then the event is growing and growing. And I mean, I'm looking forward to the day when we can just say we're installers. And that's what we're working towards. It's by no means a women-only event. We have loads of, as you said about male allies. I remember you just saying that you were lucky that all the men around you were really supportive. I think we want to come to the day where we don't have to be lucky to have that.
Yeah, and I think
when it's just like that would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's it. You have to work hard. Don't get me wrong. I've put my 10 years.
No matter what gender you are, you work hard.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just, like I say, it's just human beings. I think you get out of life what you put into it. I think that you have to sometimes be at the right place at the right time. But ultimately, I've got ambition, rightly or wrongly. But I think that's something that could, just goes into being part human, really. If you want to get somewhere, you can
just apply yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. you know, I went to a college, flipping it, probably about maybe last year, I think it was actually. And it was nice to go in and see more girl apprentices. Like, you know, you go to colleges in the last five years or so, or bringing them into one of our centres of excellence, because we do college days where we educate on what we do at Vaillant. And it's so nice to now see more girls getting into it.
That's
and
really good.
Yeah, it's just one of those proud moments again.
That's one of the things that I always ask people. You know, what are you what are you seeing? And you've just told me before I even asked you. And I think that's really great. Other people have said that the mix of the staff in their places of work is ever, you know, getting a bit more equal. We've even got up to 20% in some places, and so we are moving in the correct direction. I mean, but I still think there's a place for our experiences to be shared, because our experiences will never be the same as a male experience. It just won't be. So even when we are 50-50, or even when we're 60-40, when we're 60-40, we'll still have an event just for us.
Yeah, well, that's it. I think it's just nice. Again, it's having that people of similar experiences, of similar backgrounds, and just having that support and knowing that you're not alone. So there can be moments that you think, oh, am I the only one that kind of goes through this? Whereas, you know, your event gives people that forum to do that. I know that one of our female engineers, you know,
she stood up last.
She comes to she's come to your event.
So, she stood up. I think she stood up last year and had her 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
That's what we call it.
5 minutes of fame. I like that.
Yeah, we call it 5 minutes of fame, and we get some women to stand, you know, 5 or 6 of them to stand up and tell us a little bit. And sponsors who come are astounded actually at some of the experiences they hear about, because they didn't know. And why would they know unless they hear it from our own lips? So I don't want to keep you for much longer, and I'm really grateful that you're here, and I can't wait to meet you in person. But the last word has to go to you. What do you say to women, young girls, young women, and even adult women who might want to get into our industry? What do you say to them?
I would say what I kind of have had to go through in life as well, of, you know, if you're thinking about it and you've got that niggling feeling of what do I try it, do I not? I'm a big believer in you give it a try and you see where you go from there. You've got a huge support system, especially with your event, Hattie. We've got similar situations. You've got other women to kind of guide you through it and give you that support. And the industry is growing. It's an exciting time to be part of the industry with the changes that are coming through. So why not spread your wings and get involved? It's something that I sort of am a little bit of a mentor to some people, that I've kind of given guidance on kind of where their career maybe ought to go or what they ought to try. And I think it's really important to just try it. If what's kind of the worst that can kind of happen, you know. And yourself, Hattie, I know that you are a massive supporter for newbies coming into the industry. So
absolutely
reach out and speak to people if you want to just kind of experience for a day. And
it's a really to everybody else, thanks for that, because I completely agree with everything that you've said. You know, if you never like suck it and see, you'll never know. And now more than ever, the support network has never been stronger than it is today, and it will get stronger.
And it's nice to see more and more women coming through our doors as well. You know, we've got 6 centres of excellence, and we see women coming through it now, and it always brightens my day, and it gives us a new perspective of people coming through the doors, and it's really exciting to see people really engage with us again. So it's really, really good.
Fantastic. Well, Laura, thank you for talking with me.
No problem.
I'll see you on the 4th.
You will.
Bye.
Bye.